close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love.
Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Susan. I'm a first-time mom to my daughter Julia, and when I was 3 months postpartum, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor and epilepsy. Welcome to my channel. I am in a phase of life that is like uncharted territory, but I am trying slowly but surely to pull myself out of the funk and just like honestly terrible headspace and physical space that I've been in for the last 5 months. I am trying to take control back in my life by making choices that make me happy every single day. Your life is a accumulation of all of the days you have, and if I'm not doing things to make me happy and feel fulfilled every single day, then what am I doing? I'm not living. My life does not look anything like I thought it was going to. I used to be a content strategist. I had a grand mal seizure in October, which diagnosed the brain tumor, but I had 3 months of undiagnosed seizure activity. The grand mal seizure is considered a traumatic brain injury, so I've been healing from that. And then again, a lot of seizure activity between then and now. With that said, and just for you to get to know me, April is a new start. It's a fresh start. Today is April 1st. And today I did a handful of things that made me feel good. And I want to carry this positive energy into the next month. This is hands down the best day I have had since being diagnosed with a brain tumor. I feel the most like myself that I have in months, and I could literally cry happy tears because I never thought I would feel happy again. First of all, I never thought I was going to be alive this spring. Like, I really didn't. And now I just feel such relief and joy and gratitude. I feel inspired. I feel excited. So without further ado, let's get into today's video, which is an April reset. A lot has changed for me in the last 5 months. Before the seizure, I was very organized, had a very strict morning routine, especially being a new mom. There wasn't a whole lot of time for like any bullshitting. So I would have a 4 a.m. morning routine. I would get up, breast pump, work out. Then the baby would get up, get her ready for daycare, go do my work day, pick her up from daycare, and then we would do our afternoon and evening routine. Obviously that didn't go on for very long because then everything happened and my life changed. And since October, my life has been very, I don't even know how to say, not structured. No structure whatsoever. And that has been really difficult for me. The way I think, the way I navigate the world is also very different, both from the trauma I've gone through, but also my brain healing, adjusting to being on anti-seizure medicine, which literally slows the brain frequencies down. So things that used to be my strengths are really difficult for me and challenging, and I have to take my time. Everything takes me more time to do than before, which I'm learning is okay. I am starting tomorrow, actually, a cognitive and memory class. It's a 8-week class, and we'll break down my goals and what I struggle with. The month of April, I have a bunch of different doctor's appointments. So keeping that in mind, my day-to-day never looks the same, but within each day, I have a list of 8 habits that I want to do that should contribute to my 3 goals. And again, my life is not the same as it was, and this is trial and error. I'm trying to find what works for me now, because what worked for me before does not work for me now, and that's okay. So my 3 goals for April: create a morning routine, create a night routine, and schedule brain surgery. Varying things there. Because my days never look the same, especially when I have a doctor's appointment, I'm traveling a couple hours. It turns into an all-day thing. Morning routine and a night routine. I have 2 set structured times of my day, and I think that that's really going to set me up for success and be able to wind down and relax. I mean, right now our night routine is pretty consistent because of the baby, and she has her routine, and then my routine kind of falls in after hers, but I would like to just really be intentional about our time and in the evening when Julia goes down for bed, I really want to reconnect with Chris and just spend my time intentionally. I don't want to spend my time scrolling on my phone. The morning routine is something I've really struggled with since I was pregnant. You just feel, you don't feel like yourself when you were pregnant. I had such a consistent 4 a.m. morning routine for 3 years before I got pregnant with Julia. And then I was morning sick and didn't feel good and had a list of excuses a million miles long. In my second and third trimesters, I was pretty good. I was getting up at like 5:30. I would walk like 3 miles each morning. I was getting back into a rhythm and a routine. And then I had the baby. And honestly, even those first 6 weeks postpartum, we had a pretty solid schedule. Julia was a really easy newborn, which I'm so thankful for. She slept really well. So she'd get up at like 1 and 4, and sometimes I would just stay up at 4 after she went back down, and sometimes I would get up at 5, but that was pretty structured. And then when I went back to work, my morning routine was still good. Since the seizure and then being on all these different medicines, I have a really hard time getting up. And another piece of it is sleep is really important to healing your brain, but also with epilepsy. And she's a baby, so she still gets up sometimes, and having that broken up sleep is just difficult. Last night was a perfect example of it. She got up at 1. This was weird, but she was up from 1 to 2. She's never usually up for more than a couple minutes, and that was hard for me. So this morning Julia and I got up at 7. For reference, she has to be out the door at 7:15 to get to daycare on time. So it's just one of those things where I really want to get up at 5, but sometimes it's like I physically can't. But again, I don't want to use that as an excuse, and I want to really have that morning routine because I do always feel so much better. So that's why I have those 2 goals. And then the third goal of scheduling brain surgery, I really made the decision that I am ready and wanting to do this in the last 2 weeks because the seizures still are not 100% gone. And the way I see it, if we take the tumor out, it's one less variable in the situation of getting the seizures under control. I think my seizures have to be completely under control before I can have the surgery, but at least if we have a time frame for that, we can get that moving. I'm gonna have to adjust to life with only being able to see out of my left eye because my vision will probably be taken on my right side with the surgery, which is a small price to pay. I think in the short term, I was paralyzed by fear of having brain surgery because brain surgery is scary. But now I'm seeing it more as I have the opportunity and the choice to do this now before it grows or before it changes in any size or capacity. Let's take it out while it's small. And I think that gives me a better chance for a longer life in the long run. So that's how I came to that decision. And it wasn't an easy decision, but I really think that I've found the right team, and now that it feels more my choice, I'm ready to take that next step. And it's just getting it on the books. I'm not going to have surgery in April. Just getting it in place, and then I will need to do like surgery prep, which we'll get into in a different video. These are my daily habits I'm going to prioritize this month, and I did these yesterday as a trial run to see if it was something that I actually think I can do, and it went really well, and I think that is what set me up for so much success today. So if I can continue doing these 8 things a day, I think I'm gonna be in good shape, and I think I'm gonna feel good, like feel how I feel today. Obviously not every day. Every day comes with its challenges, but yeah, so let's get into it. The first one is 80 ounces of water a day. I'm really bad. I have been when I was pregnant with Julia, was great about drinking water. And then postpartum, I don't know why, but I'm just terrible about it. So I busted out my Yeti. As a mom, if it doesn't have a cover, it's going to be spilt. And I don't want to clean up more messes than I already have to. So I realized I needed a water bottle back. So luckily, Chris had got me this years ago. So I pulled this out. I need to drink 4 of these a day, and I'll actually be over 80 ounces. But setting myself up for success. This has a nice handle. It's easy. It's not super big, so it's easy to cart around. Throw it in the diaper bag. It's not too heavy. So this is the first step of taking care of myself. So 4 of these a day is not that much. Number 2, record videos and or take pictures. That took me 3 times. I'm keeping it. I want to be a content creator, making a full-time income on it. I've wanted this for years now, and now that I'm being moved on to long-term disability, I'm being let go of my job, and there's nothing, it's paperwork, and I understand they need to fill my position if they do. In the interim, completely understand. That was obviously a shock. I have a weekly vlog coming out that shows when I found out and I was a mess because I really did love my job, but things change. A lot of this is out of my control. So my goal is to be a full-time content creator. Well, making a full-time income on content, not using 40 hours of my week like a standard 9 to 5. I have wanted this honestly since I was 10 years old, and I have always felt so constrained on not expressing that because I was scared I would lose my job. When I was a teacher, I was scared that saying it out loud, I was going to lose my job. And then at this last company that I was at, I felt like if I said it out loud, I was going to get fired. My biggest fear has always been being fired. And I didn't get fired, but I got let go. And guess what? I'm okay. The world kept turning. And facing that fear has been so freeing. So here I am, saying it publicly for the first time. My goal is to be a content creator full-time. Technically, I am a content creator, so I already am, but I'm not making full-time money off of it. So that's the goal. Number 3, create something with my hands, whether it's a hobby or learning how to do something. Learning is not as easy as it was. So something with my hands is knitting, scrapbooking, journaling, baking, like learning how to cook, baking bread, anything like that. And that also goes into another piece of my like monthly reset is just having hobbies and self-care activities kind of lined up so I can just turn to that page in my journal or on my computer and see those things that I can do to make myself feel better if I find myself spiraling or in a negative space. So yeah, just using my hands, getting off my phone, getting off like digital stuff, and just actually doing something with my hands. I also want to learn how to garden this year. It's April here. We still have snow. We got a snowstorm 3 days ago, even though it is April now. So my mom and dad are both landscapers. They have the greenest thumbs I know. I can kill a houseplant. So I'm really hoping to learn. I have an arrow garden, so I'm growing lettuce in the house. I don't know if you can actually see that light over there. So I'm getting better at that, but I want to actually like clean out and maintain the garden beds that we have in the front of our house. And I'm really hoping to plant wildflowers and sell bouquets, which is a lofty goal for someone who kills plants, but I think it will be worth it in the long run. Number 4 is no dishes in the sink before bed. I want to wake up to an empty sink, empty dishwasher, empty drying rack every morning, because when I come into the kitchen and there's stuff in the sink, I immediately feel dread, and I don't want to feel that way. It's small, but I think it's going to make a very big, impactful difference. Number 5 is family dinners. Now that Julia is eating solid foods, it's a lot easier to do this because I have to feed her no matter what. So I've been really intentional about cooking us really wholesome, good foods. With the health stuff I've been going through, I have a newfound appreciation and respect for taking care of our bodies. One sec. For me, cooking is a 2 birds, 1 stone situation. I'm relearning how to cook, and then I'm also nurturing and feeding my family, which is super important. As you guys probably know, grocery prices are insane, so I try really hard to take that into consideration and buy literally the least amount possible, but we definitely get fresh produce and fresh meat every week, which does add up, but it's the quality of life and food that we want. I still use a lot of stuff out of my pantry, but just being intentional about the meals we eat and spending that. Takes Julia a long time to eat dinner, so we spend like an hour and a half at the table, but it's really nice all 3 of us to just be together. Number 6 is 45 minutes of exercise. Again, leaning into just a healthier lifestyle overall. And 45 minutes of exercise does not mean I'm sprinting, I'm lifting as heavy as I can. I have been loving YouTube videos and doing like HIIT workouts, basic strength training just with dumbbells, and I do it all in my living room. Now that it's gonna hopefully be getting warmer outside, I do have a treadmill in the garage and some like at-home gym equipment that I'll be able to get back into. And when it's nice out, I can push Julia in her stroller, or we can go for little hikes, that sort of thing. So just leaning into that and just having an active lifestyle. Talk is cheap, and I want my daughter to grow up seeing healthy lifestyles and not just hearing us preach about it. Like, she's going to see my actions, not just what I say. And I want what I say to align with my actions. And she loves it. She loves when I do the workouts in front of the like YouTube. Sometimes she's watching like what's going on the screen. Sometimes she's watching me. She laughs when I'm like gassed and can't breathe. But anyways, number 7 is lower screen time. As a content creator, I am on my phone a decent amount, but when Julia's home, when Chris is home, I want to be on my phone less for sure. I've set limits on my apps, specifically social media apps, and I also set a downtime, so all my apps shut down at a certain time in the evening, and then just being intentional about it. I try really hard not to scroll, and I feel like when I scroll, I lose my creativity in itself because I'm trying to be like what I saw. I'm just not coming from my own personal outlets. So just trying to cut down on that. And then number 8 is review my daily checklist. And that's just to go through just the things, like those 8 things that I want to do. So I always break it down kind of differently, but for this, today's the first day. So I did daily get-tos instead of to-dos. It's such a privilege to get to do these things. So I'm going to call it my daily get-to list. So for health, I put 3 little boxes. I put 80 ounces of water, a workout, and eating well. Socials, I had like 5 ideas to record for videos. And then home, dishes, make bed, and dinner prep. So those were my things there. I will do, update videos on the brain tumor and epilepsy journey when I have big updates, but I realized that I was breaking every little thing down into a YouTube video about it. And like I said, I don't want to just be the brain tumor girl. So I will keep you posted on how things go and what things are looking like, but I am going to just do summaries of it probably in my weekly videos, or I'll keep you guys up to date, but it's not going to just be, unless it's big things. Like this month I do have an EEG scheduled, so that's a 24-hour study. I'll take you guys along for that. It'll probably be a separate video. I have a neurology appointment, so like the big things I will take you along for, and of course there'll be daily vlogs about that. Just for the month, the upcoming treatments and appointments is neurology appointment, EEG, want to schedule brain surgery, and then I start my cognitive and memory classes tomorrow. Normally I would have like a cleaning and organizing and decluttering segment in this video, but to be honest, I did all my cleaning and organizing the last 3 days and I just didn't record it. So I'm not gonna pretend to clean just for the sake of this. So this is just more of a talking video. Hope you don't mind. I will be doing, resets and cleaning and organizing in different capacities, so you don't have to worry. You won't miss out on that completely. It's just not in today's video. I am so grateful that you are here. I can't thank you enough. I am so grateful that I have this outlet to create and share my life with you. So just being here means so much to me. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and just to be here. In case anyone hasn't told you yet today, I love you to the moon and back, and I will see you in the next video.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely